So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jackson Rowe, and I'm the Growth and North American Market Lead at Mastt. So, as you can see on the screen, before Mastt, I used to work as a product manager myself, all the way back over in Australia. So, yeah, I know sort of firsthand how intense and competitive and just sort of generally all around time consuming this proposal cycle can actually take. So that's why, I suppose I'm actually genuinely excited about the implementation of AI and see how AI can actually take a massive load off all your plates when you're actually producing these proposals and submissions just for next year. So just a bit of quick housekeeping. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box and I'll do my best to answer them at the end. And I'll also circulate a link to the full recording of the session straight after this, so you can refer back to it and use it for future reference. So just to quickly introduce Mastt, for those of you that don't know, basically we just started by building simple, easy to use tools for owners, reps, client-side PMs, project owners. But what we're seeing, I suppose, the direction of our industry, it's pretty unmistakable. The future is sort of human plus that AI workforce. So we see agentic AI becoming a natural part of every project team, not replacing people. We'll stress that. But the way I think of it is we're basically liberating them from that repetitive and manual work. So I suppose in practical terms, what does that mean? It means sort of the AI will understand your documents. We'll have AI agents that actually read, summarize, compare, and prepare content instantly. We've got workflows where they'll basically the administrative burden will actually be automated by default. So this is a vision that is guiding everything that we're building at Mastt and is something that I'm personally already seeing some leading owners rep firms implement now. So here's what we'll be covering today. So there's a few things and keen to get through the beginning as quickly as possible before we jump into those use cases. But just to kick things off, it's sort of what AI really means for owners reps in nice, simple terms without sort of the hype or any buzzwords. Why AI sort of matters now in 26 and why proposal teams, I suppose, might be feeling the pressure more than ever. And looking at how leading owners rep firms are already adopting AI and what the early movers are actually doing differently. Probably what you're here for next is actually seeing these practical AI use cases with some live demos. And these will be some real workflows that you'll be able to replicate and start using immediately. We'll start looking at how you can sort of implement just a simple action plan for actually bringing AI into your standardized daily workflows and into your proposal process without disruption. And finally, just what sort of the future looks like for proposal teams when AI becomes embedded into daily work. So let's quickly just get a level set on what we mean by AI. So just in really simple terms and specifically for owners reps, AI sort of at the broadest level, it's just software that performs tasks that normally require human intelligence. So in terms of AI products, I'm sure there's a bunch of these that you already use every day. So tools like most common ones like, our ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and even Mastt. And from there, we'll break it into sort of a few helpful categories. So we look at generative AI. This is what actually creates things. So providing us with text, images, diagrams, summaries, comparisons, and things like that. We've got our AI agents, which are effectively just assistants that do tasks for us. So whether it's reviewing a document, drafting content, checking compliance, agentic AI. So this is where things start getting really powerful. So it's AI that can reason, plan, and act towards goals. And then last but not least, I'm sure something that you've heard before is sort of large language models or LLMs. And these are essentially the brains behind the operation. So they understand the context, structure, and sort of what you're actually asking for and what you're hoping to achieve. So why does AI matter for owners reps in 2026? So RFPs are getting longer, they're more technical and basically getting far more prescriptive than ever. So at the same time, we're seeing deadlines shrinking, teams need to produce more in less time, and there's actually zero room for error. Evaluators are becoming more demanding. They're They need sort of more clear and more structured evidence-based submissions. You need to be able to differentiate yourself amongst the crowd. So no longer is it good enough to just tell a good story anymore. You need to prove it. You need to present it in exactly the way your clients want to see it. And this is one of the use cases that we'll actually be exploring. But the challenge is essentially just this. We're seeing sort of manual proposal workflows. They just simply can't keep up. So actions like breaking down RFPs, checking compliance, rewriting content, formatting resumes. These are things that are quite mundane that just eat up hours and just consume time. And this is time that you don't have, especially coming into the new year if you want to, be competitive. So just because of all this, well, we basically think that sort of AI has become the single most competitive advantage for owners, reps, firms heading into 2026. So it's helping teams respond faster, improve clarity, and most importantly, just actually differentiate more than ever and differentiate far more strongly, which is the name of the game if you want to win work and score more points than your competitors in these evaluations. So how are leading owners rep firms actually adopting AI? So across these firms that we work with, we're seeing teams basically, we're seeing teams the biggest impact of AI sort of, they all just start the same way. It's what I like to call a small single player win that you can then sort of scale and grow across the business. So it's using AI tools at an individual level and then being able to roll out and sort of escalate that sort of further amongst the team. So in the old world, where what we're seeing is sort of proposal teams sort of losing hours to manual repetitive work. So whether that's reviewing RFPs line by line, building compliance matrices and spreadsheets, reformatting these resumes and project sheets sort of by hand, and just rewriting the same section sort of over and over for every submission. Yes, I completely understand that it is necessary, but it's just slowing everything down and basically just taking far too long. So in the AI world, leading firms, they're automating this entire layer and this entire workflow. So they're running AI-powered RFP breakdowns in minutes rather than hours. They're automating these compliance checks and actually getting an AI tool to do this work for you rather than you need to dot every I and cross every T. Resumes and project sheets are getting generated instantly in a format actually required and that your evaluators will be receptive to. And then similar on that note, it'll be drafting narratives in client's tone. So this will result in faster proposals, high quality submissions, and basically just enable teams finally focus on strategy and actually winning work rather than the admin associated with all this. So now the part that I'm sure sort of everyone's here for, the actual real use cases. So I'm going to walk you through 10 practical AI workflows that owners reps are doing today. We're going to be exploring and covering the full life cycle from RFP breakdowns to drafting to compliance checks. And there's even going to be a few really cool items that you can use and integrate into your next sort of interview presentations. Again, or want to differentiate yourself and be different from the person before and after you. So the coolest part about all this, and the best part as well, it's going to be using tools that you already have access to. So Mastt, ChatGPT, Google AI Studio, just to name a couple. So it's no custom software, no engineering, and most importantly, you probably don't even need any experience even using these tools because I'll do my best to explain how each of these use cases will work. So I'm going to show you some prompts and some workflows, and you can basically take this back to your team and start using them immediately. Okay. So just before we jump into the live demos, I've got on the screen now just an example of the data set that we're going to be working with. So I'll be referring to a real example from the Los Angeles World Airports, or LAWA. So we're going to look at a real RFQ doc, the associated forms that this RFQ references, as well as also the standard contract. So this will give us a mix of realistic documents for us to use. It's going to have requirements, it's going to have forms, and basically some legal language that we can look out for and just we generally need to be aware of. So everything that you'll see in the demo, it's going to use these exact documents. I will show you these shortly when we get into the demos. So it'll be just like what you deal with on a day-by-day or week-by-week basis. It's going to be just straight from the source, and we're going to plug these into the AI tools and start seeing some of the responses that we can leverage in our proposals moving forward from now on. So use case number one. So let's look into something that every owner's rep sort of needs to deal with. It is downloading an RFQ or RFP and trying to figure out what that client is actually asking for. So a breakdown, pulling together a high-level win strategy, and just give yourself a go or no-go decision. So normally this will take hours of reading, highlighting, comparing sections. I've definitely seen these RFQs where you're commenting and referencing other people to get their attention and get them to basically start delegating the work. We're going to see how these AI tools can do this for us incredibly quickly. So all this will happen before you even start writing. And we are going to try to leverage these AI tools and using Mastt AI just to shortcut this entire step altogether. So I'm just going to jump to my screen. So what we're seeing right now on my screen is our Mastt AI. So right now, we are currently just within just a project, and I have my Mastt AI tool here on the right-hand side. So I've already loaded up our documents into Mastt. I can see I've got the RFQ and I've also got the contract. And what I'm going to do is just select the RFQ. You go select. I'm going to act as the project manager. You can see that we've got a few other options here as well. And first up, I'm just going to provide a prompt. I'm going to say, provide a high-level overview of this RFQ. So just while this is loading, what we're actually going to be looking for is that nice high-level clean summary of sort of what actually matters. So this is the kind of admin task that could easily take 30 minutes to an hour for somebody that we've actually alleviated. So highlighting key areas of what's Lala actually looking for in this RFQ, what are some key points for your consideration, and what's included. So just going to the document itself, just following back up, I can see that it's 70 pages long. It's incredibly detailed. It's got all the forms. And again, you don't want to be spending hours going through all this stuff, highlighting the key points if we can leverage an AI tool to do that for us. So let's just ask it a nice, simple question of, should I bid for this RFQ? So now we're shifting our thinking from information into decision support. And this is sort of really when AI starts to impact us, helping us to assess fit, risk, and competitiveness. I mean, given it's sort of hooked up online, you can probably even ask who your competitors are going to be. So it's going to give us a series of strong reasons to bid, some critical reasons not to, and provide just a nice, simple recommendation. So that go, no-go decision that we're looking for. So let's spice this one up a little bit and just ask how I can actually be competitive in this, again, to inform that go or no-go decision. And what are some of the opportunities I can use to differentiate myself in this RFQ? So this is now giving us the strategic levers. So these are the insights that teams usually probably only get after multiple read-throughs and internal workshops. But here we're actually getting these instantly. So it's telling us these nice these really critical and high impacts and high scoring strategies of how you can be competitive. So lead with inclusivity is our biggest opportunity. It's going to provide us with some examples of initiatives that we can not only include, but also commence. Just again, to meet the needs of the RFQ, because you want to differentiate yourselves. That's what we need to consider. All right, show strong team report. Okay, don't lose points on responsiveness. So again, it's going to be nice, simple. But let's see what, I suppose, we want to use AI as being part of our team, and let's try to see what we can get it as a creative mind. So I want to think outside the box. I really want to push it and see what we can actually get. So we're in our response to, we have some opportunities for creative thinking. So this is something that is going to be something different. Again, that probably would require an experienced bid writer to think of, but again, happening in seconds. So inclusivity, address the elephant in the room. Okay, team structure. Again, is thinking creatively. It's providing us answers. And this will actually inform our response before we even start writing and guide us to what we need to include. So last but not least, I'm going to say just sort of put this all into a table for me with actions for my team. We need to make this nice and simple. We want to keep off Excel. We want to be digital in the new age. And this is how we're going to do. So this is going to produce a nice, simple table breakdown for us where we can take these actions, make things operational, and actually get the ball rolling. So you give it a couple more seconds to think. Sometimes it can just take that a little bit longer. All right. Just thinking, this is, an important task. All right. Here's a bit of an action plan. Step together, set up, pulling together tables, and then we can just basically grab these tables, put it in a template, and start dishing out actions sort of as needed. So great use case number one. Okay. So use case number two, I don't have a demo for this, but this is one of the easiest wins within the entire proposal process. And it will, I promise, will actually dramatically improve your scoring. So the easiest way to put it is every evaluator has a different way of interpreting responses. They've got a different series of priorities, preferences, and patterns in how they'll actually read and score your submissions. So traditionally, you would normally have to guess what you care about. However, with AI, we can actually tailor our writing to match an evaluator's perspective. So how it actually will work is AI can read an RFQ and RFP and instantly it'll pick up things like tone, structure, repeated themes that the evaluator is going to be looking for. And this will actually be your blueprint for how your response should sound. It will also potentially, if these people and evaluators and committees are actually listed within the RFQ, it will extract their information. You can review their sort of LinkedIn and understand what their interests are and explore what their profile is. And basically, you can then leverage and grab AI to profile that evaluation or evaluation team. So you'll find out their role, their background, any key decision drivers. And then you'll actually be able to rewrite a section specifically to resonate with them. So just as an example, and just sort of get through this one, it's just imagine your lead evaluator is XYZ. Profile them, draft this section in a way that will align with their goals and priorities. So what you're going to get is writing that mirrors the client's tone, speaks their language, and basically just instantly feels more familiar to the evaluator, which is, I suppose, exactly what you need to do. So this will increase clarity, trust, and your scoring potential. Okay. So use case number three. So being able to develop a compliance check across RFP documents. So owners reps teams deal with huge document packages. So the RFQ itself, all the addenda, the forms, the contracts, exhibits, scopes, insurance requirements, sort of the whole bundle. So trying to manually cross-check every requirement is slow, it's stressful, and honestly, it's where probably teams lose the most points that can actually be preventable and overcome. So with AI and more specifically with ChatGPT, you can actually upload an entire RFP package into what we call a ChatGPT project. So here, AI is actually going to read and consolidate everything together. So it's not going to review just sort of separate documents on a case-by-case or one-by-one basis. It's going to review and collate everything in one spot for us. And it's going to store these. And what you can actually do is perform just a full, complete compliance check. So I'm just going to go into my ChatGPT. So this is just my account. On the left-hand side, you'll see that there's an option called projects. So if I just click on new project, you'll see all you need to do is just give it a name and you'll go create. But I've already gone ahead and created one for this LAWA proposal. So just before we get into the prompts, I can click on the file, can add and upload any necessary documentation. So just for the point of this use case, I've just uploaded the RFQ. And let's just say we want to create a compliance checklist. So I've just created a simple prompt. And what I'm going to do is, let's just say we want to review the entire RFQ package and generate a full compliance matrix. So I'm just going to click on this. It's a prompt that I've provided previously. So just when this loads. All right. Okay. So just scroll up to the top. So we want to identify all mandatory requirements, deliverables, forms, and evaluation criteria. So now we immediately have a full compliance matrix. It is reviewed every single piece of documentation. It is extracted the reference. It is provided the description and what you must provide. So this way, you will ensure that you have met every single need, you have addressed every single question that you've required, completed every form that you need to, and something that is probably going to be missed by a general administrator that is not going over this stuff with a magnifying glass and a fine-tooth comb. So it doesn't sort of just stop there. Yes, you can see we've got this complete comprehensive checklist highlighting everything that is 100% key and important. But what I want to show here as well is, and what I would always sort of recommend doing is, once you've actually formulated and written your RFP response, I would be re-uploading that response, comparing that against the compliance checklist that has been previously created, and basically just get AI to review everything line by line to make sure that you've all been met rather than you need to tick things off. So here's sort of one that I have previously done earlier. So again, just if I was to upload my RFQ, we just want to, just review it against the compliant checklist. So if I upload my RFQ, can you review it against the requirements? So yes, it can. It's going to give you that list, and that's what we need to do. So just going back to the PowerPoint, we've got some other sort of strong use cases that you can use, again, just because we want to differentiate ourselves. So you can upload previous lessons learned registers. You can put together your own sort of scope library, put together sort of design briefs, and you can also actually get this to do some document indexing for you as well, noting that you can receive thousands of pages within these sort of entire RFQs and RFPs that get issued. So I wouldn't be uploading sort of all your business documents into this. This is just something that should be specific, treat each project on a case-by-case basis. All right. So use case number 4, and this one is sort of where teams usually have their first sort of big aha moment and serious value add from leveraging a ChatGPT AI tool. So it's going to be building a custom, what I have called here in this case, proposal coordinator, GPT, for repetitive tasks. So a GPT is a generative pre-trained transformer, which is essentially just an AI model that will understand and generate text based on things you ask it. So what does that mean? Every owner's rep firm, you've got the same set of repetitive tasks for every pursuit. It's formatting the same resumes into a format that has been required by the evaluator. It's pulling together project sheets and company CVs. Again, you've got this in your generic, it's formatted up in your generic way. However, it needs to be changed and adhered. It needs to be changed and written in a format required and outlined by the RFP or RFQ. You can need to compile risk registers potentially, draft staffing plans. And again, it's just rewriting that same boilerplate content just again and again. So none of this is strategic. None of this is like sort of key decision making. It's just something that is admin. It's mundane and it just eats time. So what AI will let you do now is sort of package all this up into your own, again, what I've called a proposal coordinator GPT, which will be your digital assistant that will know your templates. It's already got those business stocks stored. It knows your tone and how your firm likes things structured. And when you, again, upload the RFQ, it's going to rework that content already there for you into the format that you need. So what does that look like? just going back to my Chat GPT account, just under GPTs, I can see Proposal Coordinator. So I'm just going to click on that, and I'm actually going to go in and show you this GPT as well. All right, so what I've done is I've given it a name, I've provided a description, and what you also need to do is just provide a high-level set of instructions. So you can even use just a general chat prompt in ChatGPT to ask, what do I need to provide as a set of instructions for a GPT? Imagine you are a senior executive proposal coordinator, XYZ. It will provide you something that will that you can implement and use. I've also given some so conversation starters. These are very common questions and actions that you'll need to do. So I just highlighted these as basically consider these as like your favorites. And I've provided it with the question. So this will be something all I need to do is just click on once and I can just keep reusing. Knowledge is where you actually feed it with the docs. So I provided it with just a sample resume. I provided it with the sample project sheet, and I've also fed it with the RFQ as well. All right. So just now looking at the GPT. So first up, what I want to do is actually just format a resume into the template required for this particular proposal. So I've uploaded the resume, I've uploaded the RFQ, and I'm going to click on this and let's see what it says. It's probably going to ask me a question or two just to confirm before it produces something, but let's see how we get on. Well, there we go. So it's got my key info, it's got my summary of qualifications. So this is the format that the RFQ requires. So this is all great. Again, I could have fed something that was 15 pages long and it's going to condense and consolidate into just a single page. So yeah, I formatted the raw resume into the LAWA using the RFQ structure and language. So clear emphasis on what we're actually going for. Again, so it's actually rewording on our behalf and tailoring these generic resumes and CVs to actually align with what needs to be answered within the RFQ. I can then go back, and if I just went back to and just went new chat, I can also do something similar with like a project sheet. So say if we wanted to upload sort of all our previous company projects, I can click on this prompt. Let's see if it asks any questions or if it's going to be able to read what I've already provided it. It should ideally already read, yeah, which is great. So again, it's extracting the key information from the data set that I provided, writing it in the form and structure that I require. So nice, clean one page. Yeah, that's great. So these super handy. It will do all your sort of mundane tasks for you. And so all you sort of need to do is just cast your eye over it and review yourself. All right. So getting through these, use case number 5. So this next one, this is something that almost every firm would struggle with. It's just making sure that your feed not only aligns with the RFQ or RFP and what it really is asking for, but you also need to be competitive. So what AI can actually do is actually benchmark your draft fee proposal against the scope in the RFQ and highlight any gaps or inconsistencies just in a matter of seconds. So all you need to do is just simply upload your fee spreadsheet, upload the RFQ, and just ask, where is my fee misaligned with the scope? It's going to come back with, and I can guarantee it will come back with some things. It's going to highlight the missing scoping items. It's going to show that potentially the hours don't match the level of effort implied. So it will also show you tasks that you've potentially included that aren't requested. Also highlight any sort of key areas where you may have over or under resourced and subsequently under or overpriced. So This is obviously incredible and incredibly helpful in sort of multiple ways. It will protect you from leaving scope on the table, and also ensure that you're sort of not pricing work that the client never asked for. Again, you want to be competitive. You don't want to have any reason why they can say no and not progress you to the next stage. So quite often the output that you'll get, it'll be just a nice, clean summary report with various recommendations, things to adjust, what risks to call out, and also just how to strengthen your narrative and fee structure before you submit as well. So look, this will give you a few sort of intangible things. It's going to make you confident that you've got a defendable price that is consistent and competitive. And it's also going to eliminate a lot of not only internal back and forth, but also back and forth in the negotiation component as well before a deadline. All right, so getting through this. Use case number 6. So scope gap and risk identification. So this one's massive. So this is, if you're looking for ways to differentiate yourself and already show value to your client before they even get you on board, this is sort of like a bit of your crystal ball. So it's a huge win for owners reps. It's so much of sort of value that you have to offer is spotting gaps and risks before they actually become real issues. So you can upload entire RFQs, RFPs, and just have AI scan it for anything that's unclear, incomplete, or risky. It's going to flag missing scoping items, ambiguous responsibilities between stakeholders and agencies and things like that. Are there any schedule risks that could be tied? I mean, stakeholder coordination issues and things like that. So it's just things that can all typically blow up later if they aren't caught early. And again, this is sort of your key and early identification. So AI is sort of going to explain why each of these items actually matter. It's going to provide recommendations around assumptions, clarifications for you to send back, or again, just mitigation notes to include in your proposal to, again, not only cover yourself, but cover your client and show that you're already showing value from the beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy a prompt in, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to my project in ChatGPT that I've already created, and I'm just going to input the prompt that I'd showed on the screen previously. So look, we just want to identify any key scope gaps and ambiguities, missing information, etc. So just while this loads, very keen to see what it has to offer, because this is something, like I've said a couple of times on this slide, is going to differentiate ourselves immediately from the others. So known as rep style. Here we go, executive summary. Okay, tabled it, always helpful. Okay, some big issues and gaps and things like that. Again, so you can choose whether to write a response to these. You can do follow-up. Here we go, risk to evaluators. How to tailor the proposal, how to sort of read between the lines a little bit. It's these sort of actions that you can actually leverage and start using AI for. So very powerful, shows proactive thinking, and could just be a valuable differentiation point within your submission. Okay, going back to the presentation. So use case 7, our AI image. So this one is definitely it's a bit of fun. And can be incredibly powerful proposals. Rather than relying on sort of generic sort of stock images and content, AI can create custom imagery that actually matches project, again, client's environment, tone, their interests. And it just creates a different sort of emotional aspect and just an emotional story that you sort of want to convey. So it'll elevate your levels of professionalism and storytelling by creating visuals that, feel local, credible, and intentional. And what it's all about, again, differentiation. So helping your proposal look and feel unique, that it's actually being built for the client rather than just having something that is recycled. So before I show how to do this, I'm going to use 2 different tools. So I'm going to go back to my Mastt AI, and I'm going to input just a prompt saying that we've got the RFQ attached and I want it to provide me a prompt that I can put into an image generation tool such as Google AI Studio. So this is just going to think for a second. And once I get this, I'm then going to jump into our image generation tool within Google AI Studio, which is called Nano Banana. All right, very detailed prompts. And I've got this open on another tab. So this is a free one, Google AI Studio. All I need to do on the left-hand side is click Playground. I'm then going to click Nano Banana. And this is the model that I'll just be using to showcase this, and start by typing the prompt. So I'm going to copy the prompt in and I'm going to hit run. All right, so this is going to take a couple of seconds. Oh, here we go. Again, something that's different. You don't need to hire a professional team to do this, and you don't really sort of need any experience in sort of graphic design. It's producing a nice, clean image that you can use and whack on the cover of your proposal. But again, it's going to be different and could hopefully make your proposal stand out compared to others. All right, so use case number 8. So this is still using Google Nano Banana. I don't have a demo for this, but this is actually turning PDF documents and drawings into renders yourself. So one of the most surprising capabilities that we're actually sort of seeing is how AI can turn simple 2D plan sets into a fully rendered image in seconds. So for owners reps, this is huge. So you can take consultants' sort of early diagrams, upload them, instantly generate realistic visuals for proposals, different stakeholder briefings, concept presentations. Again, all without waiting for architects to do this already, or paying for modeling, or getting professional graphics teams in. So you can communicate intent faster. You can show optionality as well. So you can be creative and actually do this yourself and show a few different options and present sort of your vision for a project again. So something that would normally take days or weeks or provide or cost thousands of dollars using software to do can be done instantly. So what we're seeing here now on the screen, this is an example. It's pretty wild. It's an entire render that came straight from a 2D plan, sort of no Revit, no SketchUp, no modeling hiding behind the curtain. This, as your owner's rep, is what I like to think is a bit of your magic moment. You can generate visuals on demand and it'll strengthen your narrative and support your assumptions and documentation. So again, pretty cool and would hopefully can be a little bit of a point of differentiation. All right. So this is case number 9, is creating proposal videos. And this is sort of, I suppose this is where AI can give proposals a completely new level of polish. So with tools like Artlist, you can actually take a single render or even a project site photo and instantly turn it into basically a cinematic file of a video. So no drone needed, no editing skills, no software. And for owners reps who your job is managing the actual delivery or acting on behalf of a client, this might not necessarily be your strong skill set. So we can leverage a tool. We can take, whether it's static PDFs or images, and create not only a pretty slick and impressive proposal video, but something that you can use in your presentations and briefings as well. So where that all lives is just within Artlist. So I don't have any tokens to show, unfortunately, but all you need to do is go AI video, and you can either add an image to video and provide a prompt, and it will create the vid, or you can also do text, which is what we'll look at next. But this will create something that is pretty polished and will look like it's been professionally produced. So what does that look like? So just looking at the screen now. So this is, imagine being able to create a flyover video all from just a single PDF image like that. So just looking at that again. I'm sure a few of you could already think of some situations in interviews and presentations where this could be valuable to you. So yeah, another very cool one. Use case 9.5. So creating these videos from text. So the exact same thing. Upload what you can do here, upload a PDF drawing set to ChatGPT, ask it for a prompt to provide and create a text prompt to create a video. And all you need to do is just grab that, input it into our art list, and you'll be able to create something that, takes a static, flat drawing design deck and produce something that is, quite vivid in a serious level of cinematic detail. So all very cool. And again, points of differentiation. So the last use case that I want to show you today is our use case 10 and a bit of a contract review. So contracts are one of the biggest sort of areas for owners reps and biggest risk areas for owners reps. And AI just gives us a complete new level of visibility. You'll be able to drop the draft contract into AI. It'll instantly flag missing clauses, any ambiguous language, misaligned scopes, and things like that. Also is going to summarize obligations and insurance requirements and just sort of clear this up and make it sort of nice and easy for you to conduct a first review. So we're not lawyers, and always, if something is detailed, so I obviously recommend getting some legal advice. But just as a first step, I'm just going to go back to Mastt AI. I'm just going to go new chat. I'm going to select recent documents, and I'm going to select the contract. Select. So first up, I just want like a nice, simple overview of the contract that is to be used as part of this. So just while that loads, what we're actually doing here is giving AI sort of the full context, or leveraging AI to give us sort of full context of what the contract actually means for us as a consultant. So instead of reading everything sort of 40 pages, sort of line by line, and extracting all the legal jargon, we're getting a nice clean summary of the key terms and sort of what's required. So provide us a response. We probably want to prompt this a little bit more and actually learn just sort of what are our exposures and what our key risks are if we actually sign this. So let's ask it that. So what are the key risks to me if I sign? So let me just give this a moment. And what the AI is doing now, it's scanning everything that could actually expose you to commercial, legal, or delivery risk. So things like indemnities, unclear responsibilities, or payment conditions that might trip us up throughout. And hopefully this will provide a little bit of an assessment and some commentary as well, just to whether it's further clarification required from you, from the client, or the stakeholder, or whether you need to get a lawyer involved to get things sort of rewritten. It's going to provide you sort of key risks sort of outlined here. And one sort of last thing you can also do, it's understanding and asking AI if these key risks are sort of standard, or if these are things that you should be concerned about. So again, I'm not going to do that here because it's sort of running out of time, but something that is really useful. It's going to be your first pass. It's going to save you a ton of cash. Don't have to get the lawyers involved early. And again, you can use this to sort of inform that sort of go, no go decision and take things from there. Okay, so deep breath. Finished all the use cases. So coming to the end. Thanks for staying with me. So how to bring AI into your proposal workflow. So when it comes to bringing AI and how to use it, basically what we do and what I recommend is first just encourage your teams to experiment, give people permission to explore and sort of find what clicks and works for them. I know here within Mastt, we have within Slack, we've got an AI channel that people are always sharing their findings and sort of what's working and what's not working, just so we can sort of work collaboratively and start leveraging these tools to the best of our abilities. Just pick 2 or 3 low risk things that are low risk, high value, easy to start, and we'll just give you confidence and sort of get your bearings a little bit. So focus on things that are usually repetitive, time consuming, and don't require heavy judgment, and that will give you the confidence to start exploring further. Once you sort of know what works, standardize your templates so AI can produce these on a consistent basis with sort of on-brand outputs. And from there, create a simple proposal GPT, this will start doing that admin work, and you'll start saving hours and hours and hours already within the new year with these new proposals. Train your BD and PM teams in basic prompting. So whether it's lunch and learns or something like that, just so you can actually use these tools on a day-to-day. And finally, just measure time savings and improvements and constantly review sort of the ROI and just see what's sort of working. This will help with building momentum and actually be able to scale across the team. So start small, this sort of single player mode, just using a few of these use cases that I showed today, and this will give you the confidence sort of moving forward. All right. So what does the future of proposal teams sort of look like? Again, it's when AI is not replacing people, it's just enabling sort of humans and AI sort of working side by side to more efficient levels. So what we're already seeing is agentic AI being embedded directly into BD and proposal workflows. It's going to just start doing these repetitive admin tasks that slows teams down. Again, just enables you to actually focus on developing the relationships and doing the strategic decision making rather than the actual highlight, bold, formatting text. These AI agents, they take care of the production work. So formatting, compliance drafting, visuals, summarizing, just so, your team can shift energy to the high value things that I just mentioned. And look, the model's simple. AI becomes the worker and your people just become, and the employees become the orchestrators. You get to focus on the judgment, the strategy, and winning the actual pursuits. Okay, so lastly, we did look at a bunch of AI tools today. But if you're wondering, and obviously representing Mastt, how you can sort of get started with Mastt AI, you'll actually be able to sign up for a free project on our website and test that all out and start using that yourself. So you'll see on the screen, we do have a few other AI products that are used throughout the project management workflow. So we've got sort of data pre-fields from a costing perspective. We also have a very cool AI payment review and verification compliance. But you'll be able to get started with the upload and the AI chat all for free. Just jump on our website, sign up for a free project, and this will guarantee will sort of help support and progress you on throughout your project delivery throughout the life cycle. So that's all I've got for today. Thanks very much for joining me, and I hope you picked up a new thing or two just about how you can leverage AI for your next proposal. So my email's on your screen. Feel free to reach out at any time, sort of with any questions, and highly encourage you to sign up for a free project. And that's it for now. Have a great holiday period and looking forward to getting started with you all in 2026. Thanks very much.